good day. Yes, it's another Wednesday. It is Startup and Innovators. Yes, we're back to Brazil. Yes, we're back to Brazil. Don't ask the words of Brazil. I'm sure you found out already. You all know that Nigerian Diaspora Organization, under the leadership of Honorable Chika Odori and Honorable Uche, organized the President's Cup, where a lot of scholars, scientists, people from different backgrounds, mostly students doing their PhDs and masters in Brazil, pitch a project, a business inclined project that people can invest in, something very novel. And I was really, impressed with what I saw. And I've been talking to a lot of them. I think we've done about 5 or 6. Last week, we spoke to their evaluator, that's Professor Joe, who told us the parameter and the yardstick he used to conclude. So we're here again. We have another guest from Brazil. Today we have Esther, Esther Oni, Esther Mobolaji Oni. Okay, I got that right. Esther, welcome to Startup and Innovators on the Atlanta Discuss channel. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
How is Brazil?
Brazil is blessed.
What's everybody doing in Brazil? Are you coming back to Nigeria?
Only God knows. Only God knows. Hopefully.
That's not a yes. So Esther, she wrote a project on Agritech, the Agritech Bridge, empowering smallholder farmers through mobile access to market input and advisory stuff. That's what she's going to present to us today. But it's always good to introduce her. And of course, she will tell her story the way we normally like it. Esther is currently a master's student in Postgraduate Program in administration at the University of Paraná. That's in Curitiba in Brazil. Yeah. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from the University of Peoples, California, USA. Wow. So you have a degree in USA, you're doing the PhD in Brazil. With over 10 years of experience, Esther has worked across sectors in Nigeria and internationally as a data analyst, project coordinator, HR manager, custom relations specialist. Oh yeah, educator, farm manager, and journalist. Okay, a multidisciplinary career has taken her from classroom, media houses to financial institution and agribusiness communities. I like the journalistic part of you because, I'm going to introduce you. We have an online newspaper, atlanticdigest.com. So if you write regularly, we are ready to accommodate you. So, no matter how well I tell your story, it's obviously very impressive. It's always good to hear from you. So you tell us where you're coming from, how you became a journalist, data analyst, project coordinator, HR manager, jack of all trades, master of everything. So over to you, Esther. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Mobolaji Esther, and I'm in Nigeria, and presently I'm in Brazil doing my master's that we call it post-graduation in administration at the Federal University of Paraná, UFPR, and located at Curitiba in Jardim Botânico. And presently, I am working on my research project and also doing some teaching practice at the university this semester. And my journey started from Nigeria, the roots. It started from Nigeria, where I studied my secondary and primary school. And I also went to the Polytechnic Ileife, where I studied mass communication. And this gave me the opportunity to do my internship at News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, in Ibadan branch. And from there, I was able to learn a lot. And I learned some information about editing and also news gathering. And from there, I proceed to learn and I proceed to study basic presentation at FRCN in Lagos. And from there, I furthermore with some trainings, which led me more deeper into data analysis, into having my own businesses, which involve agriculture, which involve human resources, and which also involve marketing. And from there, I developed my interest in administration and marketing. Then I studied business administration at the University of the People, California, United States. And also, this opened more opportunities to learn about the world, the global aspect of our economy, which gave me more chances to learn to contribute my impact to different organizations where I have been opportunity to work. And from this phase, I faced the aspect of family, motherhood, and I continue in businesses and continue with my education. And from there, I learned more about Brazil, and I applied for my master's, got the approval, and I started my master's in Brazil, which has been a beautiful journey. My family is here, and we love the people of Brazil. It's been a blessed experience. And through the CAPE scholarships and the opportunity that the Brazilian government have given to foreigners, I've been able to get to research more into different aspects, which involve marketing, which involve agriculture, and which involve cooperatives. And these are some of the aspects which I am studying on. And sometimes I teach English language also, advanced English language. I do that. And this has been progressive. These have shaped and helped my journey in life. Thank you.
Fantastic. Very impressed. So, I have to ask you, what makes, because you're obviously very comfortable living in Brazil. So, what's the difference that you are living in Nigeria? What makes Brazil better, slightly better? Is it that there's more organization? It's a better organization. What's the difference with it?
I would say, looking at the amenities, looking at the government, and looking at the people itself, it is a welcoming atmosphere. And then,
despite the language barrier, right?
Yes, despite the language barrier, we speak Portuguese here, and I am still learning Portuguese daily. Okay. And one important thing is the people are accommodating. The government is very super. What I mean by very super is they are empathetic with you. They don't just leave you. They don't just think. There is a sense of belonging that, yes, this is my home. This is my country. Yes, there is a sense of belonging. And then when you look at every structure of the university, the education, the teachers, my colleagues, every other aspect, the church, it's been a welcoming environment. It's been a family in the family. So I can say, with the advanced level of Brazil right now, they are way ahead of my roots. But we are hoping that with projects that we, the youth, are bringing, our country also can do better. We can do better. We can get to the peak of our greatness as a nation. But right now, Brazil is doing well. As a blessed country, they are doing good. They are doing better. They are doing excellently. Because yes, I felt like this is my home and this is my country. Oh, wow. There is no difference between me as a student, as a foreigner student, and others who are the citizen of the country. The love, the unity, and the help, the support is there, which is one of the blessed things I could talk about for myself and my family.
Impressive. Yeah. The thing I have noticed that in most continents, the most populated country are usually the one with the biggest economies. Like in South America, Brazil, most populated, in North America is the United States, in China, in Asia, Australia, and so on and so forth. So anyway, and I also know that they love Black people in Brazil. They eat a lot of African food. They love a lot of ancestral African tradition that they practice. I think somebody once said there's even a town called Abeokuta. There are places they speak Yoruba and all that. Maybe in Bahia or Harvard or something like that. So anyway, let's get to why we're here. So your project, it's on Agritech, right? So yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, go ahead. Let's hear what you have to.
Okay, let me share my screen to you.
Yeah, you're allowed.
Can you see my screen now?
Not yet, but you have the permission to do so. Mm.
Once again, my name is Mobolaji Esther Oni, and I will be presenting on Agritech Bridge. And this is a practical solution that is designed to empower smallholder farmers in Nigeria through mobile technology, improve market access, and diasporal collaboration. You can see I have some display of it on my screen. And why do I bring up, what's the reason for Agritech Bridge? Looking at the core problems that we have in Nigeria of people of over 38 million farmers that operate within significant structures, and there are different constraints that each and every one encounter. There is always a farmer within each and every one. In most family, we always have someone who is interested in agriculture, in gardening. No matter how little, how small they cultivate, we still have smallholders farming. And then the core problem is that many lack timely agronomic guidance, they lack affordable input, they lack financial support, and they also lack dependable market. And this leads to low productivity, it leads to unstable income, it leads to persistent rural poverty, and ultimately this is affecting our nation food security. And without targeted and practical solutions, these challenges will continue to limit agricultural growth and output in our economy. And where does the diaspora, the relationship, the engagement, the role comes in? This project comes about summary. The summary of this project is about ensuring that we use our mobile-based support system to ensure that there is improved productivity, income is well improved, there is sustainability among smallholder farmers. Remember, we are targeting the smallholder farmer. And this project will combine both low-cost mobile app interface, because we have a lot of mobile devices, but we are concerned more about the mobile app interface, the little ones that most farmers use, and which will be available in English and different local languages that will be accessible to these farmers. Farmers they will receive tailored advice, they will receive input support, and also there will be a lot of market linkage and connectability, which will help the remote monitoring, and it will help the growth of these projects. Also, the solution that we bring is that at its core, Agritech will link farmer, digital infrastructure, it will link market opportunities into one system, and simplifying this access of different information will bring about input bias, and it will reduce inefficiency across agricultural value chains and different sectors, bringing about youth empowerment, digital wallets, and more growth, more distributions in our economy. The value chain, in summary, the value chain will be enhanced, and people's source of living, income, and growth, individual growth will be better and well sustained. And then we are looking at the solution overview. How does this work? What are the process involved? This project brings about simple method that is useful, that will not be cumbersome for the users, for these smallholder farmers. And it works in a straightforward way because we reduce any deficiency. So the simplicity is very, very important in this project. Farmers will dial their USDD codes or use mobile app. They will dial their USDD code on their mobile app. They will receive crop specific guidance, information, and this will lead them to request more information, to request more connections to buyers, to distributors, to the world. And also this will create more direct and informed farming process. We can share information from other regions to a certain region, from one state to another, from one city to another. The farmers will get this information easily through their phones. And one of the key features that this process brings about is that the platform is designed for accessibility and better impact. And why do we say accessibility and better impact? They are different platforms, but this aspect, simplicity, accessibility, and its impact is directly to these farmers. Why? It supports multi-languages because, as you know, Nigeria is we maintain a lot of diversity, and this diversity means everyone is considered in this project. And also it supports multiple languages, like I said. It offers inputs, vouchers for quality supplies, and also the facilities is directly to the market connection. We tried as much as possible in this project to ensure that the middlemen are reduced. This will ensure that the smallholder farmer earn the right income, and their interest is well protected. And in addition to this process, diaspora-led training will be utilized, where continuous knowledge is being transferred, the farmers are being supported, and they are being monitored for sustainability of this project. And then looking at who are the beneficiaries, we are looking at the pilot phase of this project. We involve or engage at least 100 farmers across different selected states. Example, let's say Osun State, Benue State, Kwara State, and all these locations are targeted because we have more farmers also located in these regions. And then we would also target 10 youths that will be trained, apart from the farmers themselves that will be trained. These youths, they are there as facilitators to ensure that continuous process of training and guidance is given to the farmers. And also our local cooperative, as we all know that Nigeria has a lot of cooperative, they will also be utilized in this process so that more people, as the project continues to grow, more people will be involved in this project. These youth agents will act as intermediaries. They will help the farmers in their effective use of their device and system, and the digital gaps will be well bridged. There won't be any deficiency. Also, looking at the budget, we are targeting at least 2 million budgets, which is divided into the administration, the youth empowerment program, the market access, and the logistics. These are well divided, hoping that by the time the implementation of this project will come in, we would start at a phase-by-phase process. That way, we would see how well our target location is well enhanced, and hopefully this budget will be able to sustain these 100 farmers that we are targeting and the 10 youths that we intend to involve in this project as in the start phase. And also, we also look into the sustainability and the diaspora engagement, which involve we having diaspora professionals. They will play a lot of strategic role through mentorship, training, knowledge exchange, and strengthening international collaboration, because we don't want to limit our Nigerian smallholder farmer to just the knowledge or the devices they have. We want the latest technology that we have abroad to also be brought to also be implemented in Nigeria. So this knowledge collaboration and exchange is very, very important. And beyond this pilot phase, the expansion can be driven through cooperative, public sector partnership, financial continuity. We would rely on modest subscriptions, service-based commissions, and more monitoring, because we know one important thing that Nigeria needs when it comes to project and implementation is not just the implementation of the project, but proper monitoring will be given, which we believe that within the impact of 12 months, we are hoping that the projects will yield at least 25 to 30% improvement for the farmers' income, for the farmers' amenities, for the farmers and its farm growth. And it's also, this will create opportunity for the rural groups and the rural youths to engage in digital extension roles, and also to reduce post-harvest losses. Because when we bring about better market coordination, better market monitoring, better market implementation and devices, we believe that this model will scale effectively across different regions, because there will be proper communication with the little code that they just have to press on their phone, on their cell phone. They get access to information. So no farmer, no smallholder farmer will be limited in their information, in their communication. This will enable them to get more information timely when they need it. And overall, Agritech Bridges is a practical and, I would say, a scalable response to the rest of the agricultural challenges that we presently have in Nigeria. And its effectiveness will be measured through data usage, data analysis, farmers' feedback, and yield improvement with periodic evaluation to guide, to bring about refinement and guidance. Yes, we hope that at least we would be having a monthly checks, a monthly evaluation of how well this project is being utilized, is being implemented, and any deficiency that we identified could be immediately treated. Thank you.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. You know what was just going through my mind when you were talking, I mean, you can remove the slide,
Okay,
yeah, it's novel. When you were talking, what came to my mind, I remember when was the Professor Akinwumi Adesina was Minister for Agric during President Jonathan. They had a project like this. Yeah, they gave farmers in the north phones, I can't remember, I think it was a small Nokia phone. They could just receive.
Yes.
Yeah. So because
yes.
I think the first thing Prof noticed then was that fertilizers, NPK, that's the artificial fertilizer, does not get to for farmers in the
Local
north,
farmers directly.
yeah, Borno, those axes and all that. So they started with that phone. And when you request to the phone, when the fertilizer is on the way, you get a text message. When it gets to you, you acknowledge, all that kind of, and it really worked. As a matter of fact, it increased our yield those period that Professor Akinwumi Adesina was there. I don't know if you know about a country called Burkina Faso in West Africa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
at that time, I don't know of today. At that time, they were the only subsistent country in West Africa agriculturally. I'm sure you know that subsistent. Yeah, that means that everything they eat in Burkina Faso, they plant in Burkina Faso. So apparently at that time, they were getting fertilizers from Nigeria, the NPK fertilizer that Nigerian government was procuring for their farmers. The middlemen were sending it to a city, the second largest city in Burkina Faso called Bobo de Aloso. So those NPK from Nigeria were being sent to Burkina Faso, which was helping their own subsistence farming in that country. So they were getting rave reviews for being subsistent in agriculture, whereas it was NPK fertilizer from northern Nigeria. So when this phone thing came during Professor Adesina, who later became the president of Africa Development Bank, Nigeria's fertilizer stayed in Nigeria, and guess what? The farmers in Burkina Faso didn't get it. It affected the agriculture so bad. And some people will say that it actually led to the revolt in the country, that because there was no food to eat, that overthrew the then president Blaise Compaoré. I can't substantiate that, but the timing it was within the same period of time. So you can say how important agriculture is, and what you just presented now had worked wonders, even politically, even scientifically, even agriculturally.
Yes,
so I just have to, give you a fantastic thank you, fantastic clap there for thinking about it. However, let me ask you this: what kind of phones will they be using? Considering these people are usually in rural areas. Yeah.
Presently, I would have said exactly the Nokia, but we have more devices now.
Yes,
so we are looking, yes, but we are looking upward to like a device that will not cost us that much, that is cost effectively, So we are looking at something like that. The price, the cost will be favorable to us, so that we can have a more purchasing power. So that's what we are thinking of. We don't have a particular brands that I can say, okay, this brand right now. But yes, Nokia was a model that I knew that, it has been used before. But presently, I know that there are more devices that we could choose on. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. I don't know if you also know this. There's something you said that really made sense to me. You said, how did you put it? You were talking about harvesting, that also helps them harvest properly. In some of the researches I've done on my own in the past, I found out that one of the problems rural farmers have is harvesting. You understand? Sometimes let's look at a plantation farm for say plantain now. They just go, they cut all those stuff. When they cut it, the plantain will drop. There's no means of ferrying it from that point to the truck. You understand? So sometimes, in fact, most times, half of the harvest is spoiled. You understand? Before the truck comes, then you have bad roads. So what you just presented helps communication, it enhances logistics. I mean,
yes,
and you will be surprised that the yield might actually be more than 25%, because poor harvesting is actually taking away, in some cases, as much as 60 to 80% of profit of farmers. It's something I've researched, so I know, if you understand what I'm trying to say. And it's not just in plantain, in so many, even in pepper, so many things are, things that should be sold in maybe within a month after harvest.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You understand? And they're just there. I mean, one thing is, the roads are not even there. In the case where they're there, the trucks, so many things. Then the means of harvesting. So what the technology does is it teaches you. You don't have to leave your village, or where you're domicile, but every information you can ask, how do I do this?
Yes, they can easily communicate on their cell phone. I'm harvesting today, or I will be harvesting next week. That's why we have a monthly monitoring.
Exactly.
Because one thing is sustainability the monitoring must be a monthly event, that once the farmer message this week that, I'm harvesting next week or next month, then there is a vehicle, there is the logistic, and every other aspect is provided timely.
Wow. Did this idea come to you while you were in Nigeria or while you were in Brazil?
While I was in Brazil,
Yeah.
while I was
Yeah.
when I was in Nigeria, I can always say that when I was working at Access Bank, we have this thing that we call mobile access.
Okay, I know.
Yes, we have something called mobile access that you just have to press USD code to transfer. And I think we still, a lot of banks now use it. So I knew about something like that, USD codes, you just have to press the account number, press some code, and voila, you've transferred to the next person. Similarly, we are having such for agriculture. It's just a matter of texting someone a code, texting the government a code, texting the agent a code that, I'm harvesting, I need a logistic, I need fertilizer. What do you need? What do you want? What help and support do you need timely? So that once it is being communicated, action is taken. And by this, we reduce a lot of losses in the farm.
My take on this is that it needs government patronage. And I like the examples of the states you gave, Osun, Benue, those are very agricultural. Yeah, Benue is food basket of the country. There's a lot of farming going on in Osun State. The issue in the Southwest now is that there are a lot of these cattle people, there's some semblance of insecurity in Nigeria.
Yes, that's true.
So
we would definitely, government would definitely be involved, cooperative are involved, and anything cooperative is involved, government will be involved. And also we would be open to any other partnership that is coming in that will help us to leverage on a lot of opportunity. We are not going to be limited to just a certain opportunity. We would be open to different opportunities. This will bring about more collaboration, more engagement, more education, and more support.
Fantastic. So what I'll do is, we'll put all your information in the chat box. People watch, so you never know. And I think I like what you're saying, actually, because it's World Bank has funded this kind of project in so many parts of Africa and Asia. You understand? So I would advise that maybe you narrow down to, what state are you from in Nigeria?
I'm from Oyo State.
Oyo State, okay. So Oyo and Osun, for example, are states, I think, even though you're in Brazil, you can write to them. You understand? I can help buffer in that area. You understand? Write to them. It might take time, they'll respond. But now it's election season in Nigeria, so politicians will always find a way around it, that kind of thing. But I'm impressed. My last question to you is, you say you write. You worked in the news agency of Nigeria. So are you the article writing kind of journalist, or you just go cover events and that kind of thing?
I write sometimes and I cover events most times also. But then, I was doing my internship. So whatever I write, whatever I gathered, I have to submit to supervisors and they work on it.
Impressive.
But then I was able to learn a lot through that trainings.
Okay. If you still have a flair for it, I have an online newspaper. We can always accommodate you.
Oh, sure. I write in the church presently in Curitiba here. Baptist Church, I write there sometimes.
So we could just open a column just for religious faith-based and you anchor it. Simple as ABC. Done deal. I'm a man.
Okay, sir. That would be great.
It comes highly recommended. Neither Brazil is it's how should I put it? If they were children, you say, this is my child, they want well pleased with, but the other children, the people that are adult, are very responsible people. It's almost impossible not to appreciate the effort they're making. It's fantastic. I didn't know there were so many Nigerians in Brazil doing masters, doing extraordinary things. Do you understand?
Have more people coming in now, which is a blessed thing, so that we can also bless
language, cohabit. Wow. So you have all your kids there with you also?
Yes, I have my 4 children here.
Oh, wow. They'll be so excited, speak Portuguese. I'm sure they'll speak Portuguese better than you.
Yes. They are the best, especially my daughter. Yes, they are the best.
Wow, they would never forget the experience I know it's a lot of sacrifice also on your part. You understand, change of culture. Wow, Esther Mobolaji Oni, you've done very well. I'm proud of you. Nigeria should be proud of you. Nigeria, Brazil is proud of you. And I'll take you up on the right thing. And let's hope that one of these states, especially Osun and Oyo, we'll see what we can do to buffer it. But I know everybody is within the election scope right now. You understand? It's almost so we can give them time. But I'm sure we'll be in contact, and I'm always in contact with the NIDA people. So we'll take it from them. So viewers all over the world, that's another gem, a real gem. Proudly
Thank you.
Nigerian in Brazil. I mean, it's just so amazing how much, human capacity, the quality of manpower we have in Nigeria. I'm sure you all know that 1 out of every 4 sub-Saharan African is a Nigerian. 1 out of every 6 Black person in the entire planet is a Nigerian. So we are the real McCoy. It's a
Yes,
wrap.
we are everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. Let me tell you something before we go. A very long time ago when I was younger, do you know, did you ever have one musician they call Rasky Mono?
Mm-hmm.
So he went to play in a place called Papua New Guinea. Somebody just called him. Papua New Guinea is after Australia, after New Zealand, very far. This was a long time ago. Do you know when he landed in Port Moresby? That's the capital of Papua New Guinea. When he landed at the airport, there's a community of more than 100 Igbo people that welcome him. At that,
Oh my God, that's lovely.
yeah, that's a very long. This was maybe early 90s, thereabout. And that's how fantastic we are. We're everywhere, more than 100. I'm sure in Papua New Guinea now, it's in Nigeria, especially. I'm sure it's the Igbo community that running the economy of that country. 100% sure about it.
Yeah, Nigeria, they carry last. We are always there.
All right, it's a wrap there. I'm sure you've all had a very good time, and see you next week.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're most welcome. Bye.
Bye, sir.
All right.